All right. Again, good afternoon. And all right, we'll be starting our first box, known as the bashed box on the Hack the Box channel or the Hack the Box platform. And again, like I said, the TJ knows material is where uh, my prep with OSCP came from. But again, I'm not just going to stop from the TJ knows list. I'm also going to the TJ knows list in the IPSEC videos. I'm not just going to stop there. I'm going to actually do the entire TJ knows list and the entire proving ground that I did and the entire one hub materials and other resources I used. But I before we move on, I would because the bash is pretty easy to solve. Um, uh, so because I've done it before, so I'll quickly run through it. But one thing I would say is when it comes to pen testing is even after I was done with the materials, I still found it very difficult to put together all the material, everything I learned into one, how to kind of put everything I learned into how to implement everything I learned. So because I forgot some things I didn't understand, so on and so forth. But one thing I would tell you is for your first, especially if you follow the IPSEC videos, if you go through that IPSEC list, I would strongly advise that for the first maybe 10 to 20 videos in the IPSEC, don't I mean, if you want to, you can, but this is my recommendation, my opinion only. There's no reason to bang your head over everything. For the first 10 to 20 videos, look through a walkthrough. Watch the IPSEX videos walkthrough. Uh, Look at walkthroughs on Google. Look through my own walkthroughs I'll be going through. Go through walkthroughs for the first 10 to 20 videos on Hack the Box. Um, Build your hacking quiver, the method, your arsenal. Have a great methodology. Take notes. Have a clear understanding of okay, why do I have to do this? Why do I have to use Go Buster? Why do I have to use the Buster instead of Go Buster? Why do I have to use both of them? Why do I have to use Burp Sweep? Can I use Metasploit? Because you can only do that once. How can I get a reverse shell? If I get a reverse shell, how can I get root? Why are users this way and that way? How can I do this? Because you need to build that arsenal. You need to build that knowledge before you can say, okay, let me try and tackle a box on my own and bang my head around. Because again, this thing is science. It's science. It's the science of the science. So if you don't understand the science behind this thing, you're just not going to understand it. So I just would recommend you build your methodology first, and then from what you've learned, from what is you have in your bag, in your hacking bag, then from there you can now start thinking of like, okay, since I know how to put this and this and this and this and this and this together, okay, now I can start doing research, right? Because what's the point of doing research if you don't even understand what you're researching, right? So that is my own suggestion when it comes to it. And again, take joy, take absolute joy in your process. Because I know sometimes this community can be very, very toxic. Just take joy. If you hacked a box, one of the simplest boxes, like for example, the bashed box, right? Even if you look through a walkthrough, be happy about that, right? Enjoy the process. Don't be too much in a hurry that I want OSCP, I want OSCP, I want to do OSCP. I do understand life happens and you need to get a job and all that, but and that's why people would really push for the OSCP. But I promise you, enjoy the journey. If you've been able to hack one or two boxes, create a video, put it online, put it on LinkedIn. Let recruiters see you do these things on LinkedIn, right? Explore. Don't put yourself in unnecessary stress that the community says to try harder. And the way the community takes that triad mentality and the way the OSCP pushes for the triad mentality are absolutely two different things, right? So be careful not to get way too toxic and just enjoy yourself and enjoy the process. Hacking is absolutely beautiful, it's wonderful, and it's very enjoyable. All right. enough of my blabbing. Let's get right into it. Okay, so here is the box we'll be dealing with. The bash the box. This is the IP address that we're running on, and so on and so forth. Of course, I've solved it before, but I'm gonna try to do everything from scratch so that you all can see everything I'm trying to do. All right. So okay, that is the OVPN file I'm connected to, the network I'm connected to. Okay, let me see if you can see my video. So I'm just gonna put this over here. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. So now one of the few things we're gonna do is we're gonna do a quick scan. So we're gonna do Nmap, right? And we're gonna do dash SV dash sorry C and do an aggressive scan and do the 5, which the T5 generally would kind of speed up my what to call it. It will do a very quick scan. Scan shouldn't take too long to complete. And then from there we can then like our IP address will be, this is our IP address. So we can come here and put our IP address over here and save it and home slash. I think I'll just do desktop and I'll name the file bashed, okay? Bashed.txt, so you can see it. I can see it on my home screen over here. All right, so we're just gonna wait till that happens. Okay, now while we're waiting for that to happen, let's look at one or two things here. Just want to touch one or two things. So we can do something as search exploit. I just want to know known vulnerability here. You can use search exploit or exploit DB. The search exploit basically is the offline version, exploit DB, especially if you're trying to look at certain exploit on a particular target to see what people already have in the past about it. We can use such, but this is the offline version. Such. Okay, I'm really getting really bad. Give me a second. I think I'm not spelling this right. Uh, okay. All right. Just wanted to be sure about my spelling. Okay. All right, and then we can do bash. If we can find any. Okay, so there's no known result here on it. But let's quickly look at. Okay, our scan is done. So let's cut our scan out and do bash.txt and let's see what we are looking for. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. So cat. Okay, so we have a scan and then we see here that we have port 80 running TCP and the port is open, HTTP Apache. So this is port 80. Now it's okay. So now we're running port 80 over here, right? And now with this, I'm going to immediately guess this is a web server, and that web server, the OS on that web server is running Apache here. And sorry, I said the web server. The OS on the web server is running Ubuntu. We can figure out what version of Ubuntu is running by searching on Google for that. But this is definitely a web server. So let's explore that web server and come over here and look at what we are going to do. So we can come here and then just push and go. Okay. So we have it over here and then just clear it here. Actually, I may have to just pull up Tmux because I may use that. Okay, so I may have to use Tmux a little bit. So, okay, just gonna put this over here. and open another window. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So, okay, so I have three windows. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Okay. So let's come here and look at what we're looking at. Okay, so we have the PHP bash. So PHP bash helps a lot with pen testing. I've tested it a lot on multiple different servers. It was very useful. I actually developed it on this exact server. So we can come here and then we can see what we have over here. So this is the shell environment in our Linux system. Um, All right. So now what we can do is we can use GoBuster, and what we can use GoBuster for is GoBuster or the Buster generally helps in doing a brute force against the web server against certain word lists, like directory word list of file. So it's kind of like brute force against the web server to kind of search for known directories within the word list of within the GoBuster word list or the Buster word list. So we're going to do that right now. And now I must say this that GoBuster, the older version of GoBuster, generally you can just do -u and then you can supply the URI you're using and then -w specifying the path to the word list. But the current GoBuster that we have right now does not respond to just -u. You kind of have to also specify all the options or parameters. So we can let me clear. Okay, I need to specify an alias real quick so I don't have to keep doing clear. So we can do go buster. Oh, sorry. Can do go buster here and then do. Okay, that's why you can actually. You know what? I'm just gonna do go buster actually itself. Now, this is what I was talking about. So you have to kind of specify this available command. It will use the directories and files to enumerate or to kind of brute force to enumerate. It's kind of like an enumeration mode using directories and files against the web server, and it has a whole bunch of lists on there to kind of look at. Okay, hey, this is here on this word list. Let's kind of merge it and see. Okay, in the web server, does it have this directory? And if it has, okay, it will let us know. And from there, we can kind of explore on the URI of that web server to find out what exactly is going on there. So let's do 11. All right. So now we can do GoBuster, right, and do the -u and then specify the path we're looking for, the URI. Okay, it can be this place. Okay, let's just go back a little bit. All right, now we'll copy and then we'll paste this. All right, and then we specify -w. Now, so we do have a file known as what's the name of the file? The word list file. So we're going to use the burst and the word list file. So we're going to do okay, the burster. It's going to pull up it. And then here, from here, we can just simply specify our URI that we're trying to do. We can increase the thread to 100 if we want to. We can browse here and just go back, go to user, shares, and find the word list. Over here, and then we're looking for the bus. Is my stuff hanging? Okay, the bus, and then you use this. All right. So the question is, why are we using this? Why not anything else? So I would have to show you on the other side. Okay, but let's select this. So generally, these are two different tools. The Buster is one tool, GoBuster is another tool we can use. But before, we're going to use the GoBuster for the other one. But generally, I like to use that because sometimes the Buster is generally much more detailed in its brute forcing process or enumeration process. So, but here, since we already know the path of the file, and slash that'll be slash user slash share slash word list or the buster is this, right? I can just simply copy it and use it for Go Buster. But now the question here will be how maybe can I find this? Now the thing is this file currently is actually located in locate.db in your Linux repo. The database locate.db. So that's why you can sometimes you can use locate and then you can do word list and it will bring out a whole bunch of directory that has word list slash share, and then you can actually maybe just scan through them and you can see files like the buster over here, and then you can do ls and then pick this up over here and then copy it and then you can see the word list that we're using over here. All right. So that's another way to kind of search for, oh, where is the directory for that particular word list that the buster word list we're trying to look for. Of course, you can also do locate. Instead of doing word list, you can just do and then yeah, the buster over here. And well, okay, yeah, well, there you go, over here. So we have this too, so you can do things like that. Now, if there's a better way that you would like to search for that file, if you don't really know where it is located, please let me know in the comment section. So, but for now, that's how I kind of do my stuff. All right. So, okay. So right now we have over here. I don't know if you can see this. If you can make this larger. Okay. Okay, so here is the buster over here, and then you can start your enumeration process. Oh, I didn't copy the file. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. Okay, so what I can do quickly here is, so it's going to keep enumerating here, and also it's going to enumerate. It's going to also show the search result on the terminal itself too, which is a very fantastic thing also. So we'll let that keep running its thing, and so over here right now, you can see that it also has its own stuff. We can explore both of them just to see. So why I do both of them at the same time is because one maybe just more detailed than the other. Sometimes they pull up more stuff than the other, and so on and so forth. So that's one of the reasons why I tend to use that more than the other. So that's with that. Okay, so. Generally, I don't like using Tmux. Not because I don't like using it. I'm getting used to learning how to use Tmux. So yeah. So the word list over here. Okay, and then we can do slash. I think we're able to remember what it's used. ls the buster. Okay, so this is what we use directory. This copy, and then we can put it against the word list over here and then find what it's going to pull out. Okay, so far we have slash images slash upload slash php slash css slash dev slash js. So we're going to go through each and every, maybe not all of them because css is probably going to be irrelevant in this case, but slash uploads looks interesting, images also looks interesting, php looks interesting, because PHP might actually have my admin account, like admin.php also, research slash dev, slash JS is fun. So, slash dev is definitely going to be even way more interesting than that. So that's the development. So let's look at it well, and let's go there. So now, if you notice, okay, so now if you notice, it does the slash images. So again, what I told you is that it took all the stuff within the word list on there. Okay, I was going to explain to you why uh, this file was used. The dir file was used. I'm going to explain that to you real quick. So if you do an ls-al and you specify the path you're trying to go through, okay. Okay. All right. So if you notice here, right? Let me see if I can open a better window for that. So I can open a better window for that. Oh, okay. Sorry. All right. So if you notice what is going on here, right? If this file is larger than this file. This is because the amount of word list in here, amount of words in here increases is more than this. So one of the major reasons why we use this instead of this is because, and then you can also notice here lowercase, of course, which means all the word listed will be lowercase. So if you notice why, it's because some of the lists that we have here may not be enough to help brute force or enumerate properly or brute force our web server or enumerate our web server more. Our options are limited. That's why we're using a medium.txt. I hope that's clear. Okay, so let's move on. All right, so let's explore some of this. I'll say directories. Yeah, directories. Yeah, some of these directories. So let's explore some of the directories on the web server. So we can come here and then do images, right? And now these are generally stuff, this brute forcing effect here are things that we generally would not know about the web server unless we do this. Right now, you can also use burp strip also to kind of we'll get into that actually. Let's just leave it alone. So let's explore these things here. So there's nothing here, nothing here, nothing here, nothing here. Okay. So let's look at uploads. Probably just going to be where we upload files. Probably nothing going to be here. Nope. Then we can explore PHP. If we can get myadmin, that would be great. Or the email list. Let's see what it has here. Nothing. Okay, CSS. I need to go through that. It's probably not going to have anything, but we can do /dev. Okay, php.bash. And one here. Oh, I have. Oh, the okay. So this is the environment that we had that we saw on the pages initially. So okay. So if we go back here, let's go back a little bit. So remember when we came here, right? That was the environment. This environment exists in the /dev environment. So /develop environment. It's here. This is where. So that's why you notice that it says that I helped a lot of pen testers. I've tested it multiple different times. I actually developed it on this exact server, right? So that's where the /dev comes into play. So um, so we can definitely come here and then do /dev, and then let's see what we can do here. So we can do ls, right? Generally, we would have to, in this case, generally what generally we would have to do is find a way to kind of like get um, known exploits on it and use Metasploit to brute force it to kind of use the known exploit to run a vulnerability attack or exploit on the web server so that we can get a interpreter shell. Usually that's how we do it if we're going to use Metasploit. But then again, there's other ways we can go about this whole process. But this is really easy because already it gives us the environment or the shell we're going to work with. So here we can do ls and then tells us what we had, and we can do cd/home just to look at the users on here. And if we do ls, it shows the user here is a Rexel and script manager. I don't think we don't need this anymore. So we'll leave this. And then just exit out of this. I don't think we need this anymore. Exit. Okay, we don't need that anymore. So again, if I needed again, if I maybe went through the goal buster and I didn't have much to work with, or there's something I'm missing, then I'll probably explore going to the goal buster and kind of explore that even a little bit more to see if there's something that I'm missing that one wasn't able to do properly. So we can do exit over here from the Tmux shell, and then we'll be back. Okay, so we have two shells to play with over here. So this is just great. All right. We have our own local shell, and then we have the web server shell over here. All right. So what are the few things? What are the things I need to do right now? Okay. So we have a user here. Let's seed into this Orexo user and see what we have. And then ls. Okay, and then we can cat. Okay, so that's the shell. That's the flag that we're looking for. All right. So this is the flag we're looking for. Just take this and paste it on the try hack me box. You can come here. And then again, I've done it before, so I think okay, yeah, submit flag, paste the flag here, and then you're good to go. All right, but that's not what we're here for. What we're here for is we want to get a reverse shell and possibly get root on this machine. All right. Now, okay. So now something else I want to do now. There's something known as the lean enum, list, and the lean, I think it's the lean peas here. We'll probably explore that a little bit more later in the video. So the lean peas, that sh, the lean enum, and the list, that sh. So basically what this, let me see if I can just, okay, this is bad practice to keep doing that. Okay. So I'll cd into, there's no need for me to go with that. Creative and others. All right, okay. So all these binaries, what they've become binaries right now because I kind of gave them an executive privilege. Um, so with the lean enum.sh over here, right? Basically this script, what it does is that it's a script that is designed in such a way that it helps enumerate whatever local target or whatever target it is placed on or is run on. It will enumerate the local target. Now we can come on here and just search for lean enum, and then you can go to the GitHub repo and then just read up on it and see what it does, the task, and so on and so forth, what you touch on and all of that. So we can do all that stuff over here. But we're going to move the lean enum.sh into web shell so as to enumerate our target and so as to enumerate like target, because I need to know exactly what we're working with, because before I go into fuzzing or any other thing that I can think of that's in my quiver right now, I need to even figure out what we are looking for. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to spin up uh I'm going to spin up a simple HTTP server so as to transfer files between both between locals and the remote server. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Python 2-m, and then going to do, okay, I think it's simple HTTP server. Then we can give it port 80. I mean, I think the default port is 80 anyways. Yeah. So from there, I can come here and do wget and I do 10.10.14.74 slash I can do lean lean sh, and then try to download the file on here. Cannot write, success, permission denied, HTTP request. So I can't download the file here on this current user over here. Okay, so let me show you something else. Oh wow, the Go Buster is over. Okay, so if I'm probably going to see if I can do the Go Buster again. Go Buster. Okay, anyways, one of the searches that we found out, I should have saved that somewhere else, but one of the searches we found when we were doing the GoBuster enumeration, using the GoBuster for our enumeration. Oh, okay, sorry, right here, sorry, so I didn't even go for it. Thank God. All right, is we found something here, and we can see a file known as uploads folder here. So it's only safe to say that here is if we can get our files regularly in here, it's only safe to say that the uploads folder, I mean, it's a given that uploads folder may be able to receive files, right? So we may need to go into this folder over here, right? And then possibly play around this this folder over here. So I would have to search for. No, I don't think that's how you do it. No, sorry. Again, it's a HTTP server. Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. No, I don't have to go through all that steps. So I just remembered how that works. So here, if we just cd back and then we do an ls, we would notice here that on the HTML that we have here, we have a whole bunch of files that we see here. So all the files, sorry, the images, the uploads, of course, it's going to be there in HTML, of course, because it's running the Apache on there. Yeah. So if it's a web server, and it's on a Linux system, this is generally the directory that we should be focused on. This is where majority of your services will be running on, right? So, or the Apache service will be running on. And in there, we're going to have quite, in our HTML, we're probably going to, which is where the files are developed, we're going to be having, of course, a lot of our dev and our configuration files and so on. So some of the things we can see here, right? We can see some of them over here, and this is where the uploads is. So if we were trying to upload a file, we can probably do it from this directory over here. So we're going to cd into uploads, right? And then we'll do an ls. Of course, we can see our index.html. But now, I don't know. Let me see if I can. This might be useful to me. Index.html. Sorry. Just want to see if we can do that. Oops, sorry. No. Okay, can you use nano? If we can do cat, probably going to use nano. Okay, all right. So we can't do that. Anyways, let's just get what we need. And 10.10.14.74 and splash. What did we put our server in? What did I try to get in there? Okay, yeah. So we can see. All right. Okay. Pre. That's good. Okay. So we can do lane. I just want to enumerate this target very quickly, and then just want to see what we're working with. .sh for or go on. All right, and then we can do ls. It's in there, so you can see the lane enum over here, and then you can do slash. Can do here slash. We're going to run the target slash lane and hold on. Actually, let me see. Oh, it doesn't have executive privilege. So what I'm going to do, is change mod and plus X, and then lane enum over here, enum over here, dot sh, and I'm going to put enter. So if I do ls-al, find out that it should have executive privileges. No, it doesn't. Should have an X. Sorry, let me see. Change mod plus X lane. Okay, maybe I'm one typing nonsense. Lane enum dot sh. Change mode invalid mode X. Just I'm pretty sure the X is definitely what I need to do, but whatever. What do I know? Okay. You know what? Let's hold off on this and let's get a reverse shell. Yes, we're trying to enumerate the target to know what we're doing, but let's get a reverse shell first. And then we will see where that leads. If we get a reverse shell, and then we'll be able to get our server on our, or use what like on our listening port, and we can then say, okay, hey, let's enumerate. Then I'll then enumerate the target again because I don't know why I can't enumerate it there. Probably try to enumerate it when I get a reverse shell. So to get a reverse shell, all you need to do is do a reverse shell cheat sheets. I use that all the time. And you can go to our GitHub repo, and then we can look at a whole bunch of stuff we can do. But we need to set our netcat listener real quick. So we can do nc-lvnp on port 80. Let's just support 81 because I think we're using port 80 already. So port 81. I think we're using port 80. Yeah. So port 81. And then we can come here and copy this, copy, and then put over here. I need to find what my IP address is. The 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the IP address, if config here, would be 10.10.19. So I can bring this and then change the port number to port 81. And then 10.10.14.10.4. I click enter and check my netcat listener. Nothing. Okay. And then we can come in and go to Python. We can use our Python script. And then we can switch this to bash. And then come here and put it at port 81. Is it 81? I put it to 81. 81 10.14.4. What else do we need? Click enter. There you go. There you go. All right. So the Python shell worked. It brought me a shell over here. Okay. So with this, we can do ls, and then we can see. Okay, we can see the lean enum shell that we had initially when we're doing stuff over here. There, so we can do the ls. No, we can do. You have to go back. So you have to cd into stash and then go into uploads. To ls, and then we can see the file here. Yeah, so we have a reverse shell over here because we can see the same environment here, but now we can see it on our netcat listener on our local host. All right. So let's see. Let's enumerate our target quickly. Let's see. Let's try to enumerate our targets quickly. We can do. Give me a second. Let's try to enumerate our target. Let's just do ls-al. We can see here that it's root, and here no privilege over here. So no exec privilege. So we can do change mod is x, and then we can give it the name of the file we're looking for. Num.sh. Okay, so that executive privilege over here, and then if we run our lane, does it have? Oh no, it doesn't have the autocomplete tab. Enum.sh. You can click enter, and then to help enumerate our target or a web shell. So let's go up and let's read. Let's see what we have. So starting here, there's a lot of information here. So we can look at local Linux enumeration and privilege escalation script, www.rebooster.com, thorough test is equal to disable. So we can look at, maybe we can even get kernel privileges here too. Linux based, we can look at the Linux bashed and the version it's running and the architecture x86. It's a Windows architecture. Okay, no, well, no, not 64. Okay. And then we can come down here, specific release information. So these are all the information that we are getting about this machine by just running the shell. Xenia, that's probably the Ubuntu release that it's running. Yeah, Xenia Xeros and 1604 LTS, that's the Ubuntu version it's running. Okay. The host name is bash, the user group is user ID and user group. Users that have previously logged on to. So this is so much information about the target, and that's why it's so important for us to use that script because it helps with our privilege escalation. So all just simple services on here. And so we can find our users, Rex, and script manager. We still need to look into the script manager though, but we'll get there. The super user is root. So the super user here is root. So this is our main aim to get into this really. And now we can sudo without supplying a password. Wow. Okay. So we can sudo without supplying a password. So which means I can decide to, remember we had two users, Erexo and Script Manager. So it means I can go into Erexo or Script Manager without having to apply a password. So I may just have to switch user. You can either use SU or you can use the -U option. So we have super user. And if I'm just trying to switch user like to Erexo, I'm trying to switch user to script, I have to use the -U option because then I will be able to enumerate switch user within the system. Okay, so that is one thing that we can do. So there's so many information that we can read here, like path, available shells, rev, r bash, bash, dash, ish, and current or mask value, and so on and so forth. Jobs, cron jobs. Okay, PHP. All right. So let's just bring this. We're done. We can keep exploring and keep reading through if we want to. All right. So we have what, or we basically have what we need, or at least we have an idea of. Um, we have an idea of what we're looking for. So if we do ls-al over here, okay. Oops. We're still into slash form. Okay, we already did that initially. So if we see into roots, let's see what the root has. And do ls-al. Okay, so here we have a lot of files in root. Okay, so if we see what is going on here, if you're familiar with the root folders. And now there's something as the FHS, which is the file hierarchy system, is basically a body of system that helps make sure that any Linux distro that is being used has the same, I'll say, directories and files all across the board. And this is one of it. Now, if you look properly here, the script, this is an abnormality. Yeah, this is one of the things that pen testers look for when enumerating a target. So this is an anomaly. There is generally no file over here. So this is something that we can look at and kind of try to explore or exploit as we go on. So let's try and seed into it and see what kind of file or folder we have here. So I'll seed into scripts. Now, okay, into scripts. So the permission denied. Because I'm the user www-data, I need to switch into script manager. So I can do sudo -u and then do script manager. Okay, also I didn't call the function the environment we want to run on. So I would have to do, no, I'm not doing that today. So copy, and then I'm gonna do, nope. Okay, and then I'm going to do bash, no, slash bin slash, oops, slash bin slash bash here. And then, because that's the environment it is running, then we can do ls-al. So I switched the user from www.data bashed all the way down to script manager. And then I can click enter in here. And then from there, we have our, we should be able to access our script. So cd into scripts. Yeah, then we'll do ls. Okay, so now we have two files. Okay, we have two files over here. This script manager owns the script manager test.py, and then the root owns the test.txt over here. So again, we can kind of explore this and manipulate this data a little bit here, so much so that it will run as though we were root. And one of the ways we can do that is to execute our Python scripts that were executed initially when we were trying to get the shell, but not running as a code, but as an import file. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So this, let's even explore what this file is saying here. So what this does here is sometimes, again, this is practice, is that sometimes these files will kind of change timers. So what this does is that it opens a function, and in that function, it takes the test.txt file inside and writes into it. And then it takes the entire function and puts it into this variable known as f. So the variable here then writes test.txt, which is probably what is inside the test.txt file, and then closes that particular file. Again, uh, going through Python would really be really nice in prep for the OSCP. And Python is also included in the Pen 100 course. You should go through that. That's why I'm telling you, the OSCP, they have you covered. All right, so and that's that for that. Um, okay, I think that's all we have here. Okay, so now we're not going to need this file, because what we're going to try to do is that we're going to try to, because if we see what is going on here again, now this is, if you notice the time here, 22:03, and this, so it is updating, this script is updating this text file regularly, either seconds or minutes, but it is updating regularly. Because if we do it again, let's do it again. Okay, so it may be by the minute. Let's see if this changes to 4. See if that happens. Come on, let's just see if that changes to 4. Let's see what happens. So it's timer based. Okay, let's try that. Okay, so you can see that over, oops. So you can see that over here. This environment is timer based. So it is updating this maybe every minute, 60 seconds, right? So we would have to manipulate this data in such a way that it will be able to create a file that way, and be able to kind of execute itself, right, with the right privilege, but with a different script, but not as a code, because if we go here, we can't just copy the whole payload, because then that's a code itself. So what we can simply do is we can copy it, but we're going to take away the Python, because we're just doing, so we're just going to have just the import over here, and then to execute it in place of that. So all right. So what we're going to do is, let's set up our netcat listener real quick on port LNVP on port, let's say 8082. Okay, so netcat listener. So this is to get another shell, but we already got a reverse shell, but we want to get another shell, but because we want to get it as root. So that's what we're trying to get to now. Okay, so we can just remove that file. .i.test the py, do ls again. Okay, and then we'll quickly create okay, we'll need this. Let's just, okay, so let's nano and do test file, because it actually reads the test file itself. So test file.py. So we're gonna have a bunch of text over here on the blah blah blah, the privilege scar, and then we can come here and impute that file we have. So we can come here and manipulate this a little bit and put bash and put, okay. Now, not only would it do that, but let's look at this. So it's going to spawn a pty spawn. So it's going to upgrade the whatever shell we have, so that we don't have like a teletype TTY utility type shell. It's going to upgrade that into it. It's going to connect to our IP over here. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to, I think we're listing on port 80, 82, and we're going to come here and then change IP to the 14.74, and because you don't want it, the code, you can simply take this out. Okay, there's a one-liner. All right, so we can simply do X and then save. So we do have ls, and then we have test.py over here. So what we can then do is spin up our server on port 80, and then come here and then get into it. So we get 10.10.14.74 slash or paths. What's the name of the file? Test.py. Okay, and then ls in here, test.py, and then let's look at netcat listener. Nothing. Okay, let's do cat test.py. Okay, 82, right? Okay. So I may not be running properly. So let me read through. So we have 10.10.10.14, that's on the 4, 82. Because if I do a Python and then run that script, I'm going to run that script as a script manager, so it's not even going to work for 82. Come on, buddy. Because if I do run the test.py, oh, okay, I'm running an error. Okay, so there's an error, there's a syntax error here. Okay, so let me look at that file. Let me remove the file real quick. I'm going to remove the file real quick and then see what is going on here. So it may just be a missed stuff. I'm supposed to miss something. So I'm going to come here and then, okay, let me just come here and then ls, and then we're going to nano into this text file and look through it again. Okay, so there's a whole, let's have one-liners real quick. I don't like the one-liners. I just want to be able to see what I'm doing well, because I'm not getting. Just want to see what I'm doing well. 42. Yeah. Oh, it just may be this, yeah, because we took it off of here too. So that's probably where the issue may have been. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it this way now. Yes, enter. Okay, so we spin up our web server again, and we come here and we do wget 10.10.14.74 slash test.py. Should be able to do ls, right? And then let's see if we can get a shell over here. If we do cat test.py, okay, so we get a shell. Well, it's not port 82, right? Yes. No. Okay, so if we do Python, Python 80, no, Python test.py. Let's see. Oh, okay. So, oh, thank God I didn't have to do that. So we can actually see here that we're root right here. Right? We can see here that we're root right over here. So if we do who am I, see we're root, or do ID, we can see that we're root. So right now we have gotten root access into our machine, which is the highest access you can get into any kind of machine, and then you can run that machine. So which means I can manipulate this machine since it's owned by root. Can manipulate this machine, this target, and do whatever it is I choose to do. So now I can go between root and the file system within my within this operation that I'm currently running on here. All right, test 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let me see if I can. Now we can even go further in this, but in subsequent video, we'll probably even escalate our privileges. Even now that we've gotten shell access, one of the few things we want to do here is you want to escalate those privileges far beyond what okay. So now we've gotten roots. What can we simply do with this? So in further boxes, we'll explore all those things, and further scenarios, we'll explore all these things as we move on. Okay, so okay, I don't think nano works. Error opening term. Okay, so I guess nano doesn't work here. Yeah, so basically that is what we'll be doing in further videos and so on and so forth. All right. Okay, so I hope this video wasn't way too long. 1 hour, 1 minute, 56 seconds, so 1 hour, 2 minutes. I hope this has been very informative and you at least have some clarity on putting some of your study materials on the OSCP together. And now, before we go, I'd like to say that even as much as finishing the material is important, sometimes it can get very overwhelming finishing those materials. So it's really, really important that as much as finishing those materials are really, really important, um, you also want to take a step back and kind of, okay, I finished all the way from 1 to 5 or 1 to 6 or 1 to whatever. Okay, what can I do with what I've learned? How can I move further with what I've learned? It gives a sense of accomplishment so that you don't get too overwhelmed and you don't get too fatigued while going through the course material. So that is just something I would say that you should put in consideration when going through your OSCP course material. All right. I hope this video has been very informative, and I'll see you um, in the next box, which will be, I don't know yet, but in the next box. Happy hunting. Bye. Thank you.